Hey guys, I'm Demi from CJdropshipping. Today we are going to focus on some matters that are very important when creating a Shopify store. So I will have a live meeting with Ricky Hayes, who is an expert on building up a high conversion store. Ricky will share with us his valuable insights on online store building. So now let's jump into the meeting. Hi Ricky. I'm so happy to have you here with us. And could you please say hello to our audiences out there and give them a short introduction of yourself?
Hey everyone, my name's Ricky Hayes. I'm a YouTuber. It's a pleasure to be on the channel. Absolute honor. Known CJ Dropshipping for a long time. So I'm a seven-figure dropshipper entrepreneur. I've been doing e-commerce now for about 3 years. So started from, like most people, from nothing pretty much. I was in a completely different industry, pretty much learnt marketing, e-commerce, and since then I've done over $8 million in sales. I teach people on YouTube how to build e-commerce stores, and the co-founder of a company called Debutify.
I know that you are a professional at Shopify store building, and so today we are going to focus on the questions about store building. So I think there are many viewers out there who are interested in setting up a dropshipping business, but have no idea how to start. So, the first practical step is to create an online store, and mostly a Shopify dropshipping store. So my first question is, before we set about building a store, so what preparations should we do?
Building the store really takes the least amount of time from my experience. Personally, I recommend doing a lot of research on your product and audience. So what I always say to people is understanding that dropshipping is predominantly towards women, the main buyers, and also the niches being, clothes, jewelry, cats, dogs, or pets, I should say, babies, and kitchen and homewares. So I always recommend to people to sort of start there to get an idea. And personally, I just recommend that they just jump on YouTube and watch a number of videos on how to do product research and how to learn how to market them successfully. So that's where I generally recommend to start.
Okay, yeah. I know that there are lots of free courses and on how to build a Shopify store step by step from scratch. And you also released such courses, right? So could you share with us the major steps of building a Shopify dropship store?
So the major steps is definitely you need to, one, know where you're going to market to, your logistics. So because that's very important. If you can't send the item to your customer, you're going to have some issues, that's for sure. So you need to have a good supplier. So obviously a great one is CJ Dropshipping in itself, but so you need to find the product first that you want to market, doing various product research. Like you said, there's plenty of free courses to watch on that all across YouTube. Market them using, generally most people start with Facebook ads. Understand that you can build a store. It doesn't have to be a perfect store. It takes time, like anything, and then start marketing to them. So that's sort of generally how, on a basic view, how I sort of recommend to start to get the foundations underway.
Yeah, so these are the major steps to build up a store with fundamental functions. And how much time do people usually need to set a store?
To actually make the store itself, probably 1 to 2 hours, if I'm honest. I guess for people starting out, it'll be longer than that naturally. But I generally, once you get the hang of it, it takes an hour to 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, only 1 to 2 hours, but I think I may need at least 1 day and likely 1 to 2 days to set up a store. And so it's 1 to 2 hours for those people with experience.
Yeah, but sorry, for beginners, it would be at least a day to 2 days because you've got to learn how the tool works, the back end of it. So depending on where you're at in your journey, it would take at least a day or 2 days just to learn how the tool works.
So preparation for it first.
Correct.
As much as you can. That will save a lot of time, right? And my next question is, are there any Shopify apps that you would like to recommend? Apps help to make a better conversion rate?
Yeah. So personally, I can't help but say, like, obviously, I have to recommend Beautify just because it's a free theme. Pretty much install it, saves you a heap of time. That's where I would start there. In terms of other apps, I would also recommend SMS Bump. Basically, it's for abandoned cart recovery, which is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
And also some email recovery. So there's a number of different apps there to help with conversion rates. But between those three, you're pretty much off to a good start. Obviously, then using the app of CJ Dropshipping for the logistics.
We are often asked to recommend shipping tracking apps so the customers can check their orders more conveniently. So, do you have recommendations? Or
For what type of app? Sorry.
Like order tracking, shipping tracking,
Oh, pardon me. Sorry. Yeah. So for that, I personally just use Aftership.
Aftership.
Yeah. There's a few out there now. I've personally just stuck to Aftership, and I find that works well. As I said, they're all very similar, but what I like about Aftership is that you can customize it based on your store. So it's got a lot of control because it's purely designed for order tracking via email and SMS. So that's generally what I use. Yeah.
Do you recommend beginners to install some apps to import reviews from AliExpress and like to build a trust between your store and the customers?
Yeah, so that's probably one of the apps I forgot. Sorry, I don't know why. But yeah, so definitely using an app to review, pull in AliExpress reviews is a very good one. Generally, is what a lot of people use. There's a number out there. Personally, I use Judge Me. It has a function where you can explicitly pull in AliExpress reviews and then actually have it on your product page, which then builds trust and rapport, and generally also helps contributing to more sales on your store.
Well, cool. And okay, my next question. It is a very important question that people will learn a lot from this. And so, what difficulties people will meet or mistakes that people make when building a store in it? How to solve it?
What are the common mistakes?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm honest, my biggest mistake that I made when I built my first store was I spent too much time on it. I spent 3 months. So I always say to people, don't worry about building the perfect store. It doesn't exist. It takes time. So everyone's time is very valuable. To the fact that people just see a product and they want to market it, whereas I personally recommend that you do more research to learn how to market it successfully. In relation to also the store itself as well, people don't connect all their payment gateways. So, for instance, I see a lot of people don't connect PayPal. You should always have PayPal. People very much like that as well. So those would be sort of the main ones that I sort of see. And additionally, I would always say that to people to be prepared that you're going to need a little bit of money. At least personally, I recommend at least $500 to start successfully getting the product out there.
Many viewers out there may have no experience of building a store and they would probably go to find someone who does it for them. And do you think it is good idea to find someone on Fiverr or anywhere else to build a store for you? And as I checked, it will take like $40 to $1,000.
I personally, so I've seen a lot of people do these Fiverr stores, and my personal recommendation is not to use Fiverr or outsource that. For one, it's a very important skill for you to learn how to build a store because you're going to have issues on your store. So I always recommend learning how. And as I said earlier, just using a free theme, for instance, like Beautify does 90% of the work and allows you to focus more on the marketing than building this store. And also the other reason that I recommend not using Fiverr for that reason is it's better to put that money towards testing the product through paid ads in my experience.
Yeah. Okay. So that there are groups or dropshipping tutors that offer dropshipping courses. Is it worth paying for dropshipping course or learn by oneself is totally enough?
I guess it's always a very subjective question, isn't it? But as someone that sells courses myself, I think courses in retrospect are a great thing. It's just a matter of, unfortunately, who you choose. There's such an abundance, and that's sort of the problem. I personally recommend to most people to actually just go on YouTube and look at, there's hundreds to thousands of channels, and they have heaps of free courses, including, for instance, my own. And just start there. You're better off saving your money and putting it towards your store and some ads, so you can learn how to do it yourself, because that's generally where you learn the most.
Yeah, so super. I know that you made many videos of how to spot a fake groom, and could you talk something about this so our audiences out there could learn real practical knowledge of dropshipping from the right tutor?
I get that question asked a lot now, but so personally, to me, just from my experience, is that I can't lie. Business is hard. This is hard, and it's rewarding, but it's difficult. And personally, the easiest way for me to spot someone that I don't believe is someone trustworthy is someone that says that business is easy, that shows the lavish lifestyle of, for instance, a sports car, the beach, women, mansions, whatever it may be, because they're usually just trying to hide you from the reality that business is quite hard. I've been doing this for 3 years, and I still find it very challenging every day. So I always just recommend to look out for channels on YouTube or various areas like Facebook and stuff, where people are giving you raw information on how to do things, rather than just saying business is easy, this is very simple, you can become very wealthy very quick. That never really happens in retrospect. So that's generally how I approach that.
Yeah, super, and very, very insights. So that may be all the questions I prepared for today's meeting. So do you have any final words that you want to say to our audiences?
Well, again, thank you for letting me on the show. It was a real surprise, if I'm honest, an honor, of course. I've known about CJ Dropshipping for a long time, so it's a real privilege to me. I don't really have a huge amount to say other than, I love what you guys are doing for the community. You guys provide such a great service. I really, really love that. And I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to interview me today.
Hey, if you want to share your success story or you have great insights about dropshipping or e-commerce, just send an email to demi@CJdropshipping.com. You will have a 100% response. And don't forget to smash the like and hit the subscribe so we can meet at next video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day.